There are those who like movies, others who love movies, and there are those select few who take their admiration to entirely new heights.
Some people build a deck onto their home. Well, I decided to build a deck.
I've probably seen that Poseidon Adventure 15 times.
Probably 30 times.
I lost count after 50.
Oh my God.
This is my, I think, 125th, 26th time.
200 times, maybe, that's a guess.
After a while, you lose track.
At least 3 times a month.
I own it, let's put it that way.
I've got to estimate over 500 times.
The Poseidon fans are the best fans in the world.
It's the cult of the Poseidon Adventure.
For the next hour, we'll meet the cast, crew, and particularly the dedicated fans who place the Poseidon Adventure above all else. Passionate, devoted, obsessed, some may even say a little odd, but these fans really put the fan in fanatic. So join us as we dive into the world that is cult culture, the Poseidon Adventure.
And if anyone hasn't seen this film, ought to have their head examined.
No matter how hard the ocean gets, she always comes up afloat.
First time.
Welcome. With your 50th viewing, you get a free song.
Just a single showing in over 20 years.
That's when I built a shrine to her, made entirely out of 3 foils.
Changed my life. It made me who I am today. That explains so much.
Fusion of action figures is almost
Okay, but you don't have to say them all out loud.
Long Beach, California, home of the Queen Mary, where hundreds of fans from around the world converge to pay tribute to their cinematic obsession.
The Poseidon Adventure. The most exciting escape adventure of our time. Now follow me. It took the lives of the 1,400 people on board and changed the lives of the few who would survive.
In 1972, 20th Century Fox turned hell upside down with the release of the Poseidon Adventure.
I was 10 years old, my dad took me. It was a big movie at the time, I was in 5th grade.
Wow, Sir Trillia.
Lakewood Center Theater, Theater 1. I was 8.
I was 12. I saw it at the Whittier Theater.
My folks went out to dinner, so they took me to the show while they were out eating, and I had no idea what I was seeing.
I remember wanting to go home and play in the tub, the capsize scene with my sister, and my mom getting pissed off because there was water all over the bathroom floor.
The first time it was on television, my mom wouldn't let me stay up and watch it, and I think like anything, if you're forbidden it, you've got to see it, you become obsessed with it.
Now, this was in the age before VCRs. So in order to relive the movie over and over, the best thing I could come up with is I used my tape recorder. And I held it up to the TV, and I recorded the whole movie. So I couldn't watch it, but I could listen to it.
How much more blood?
And I was just sitting in awe the whole time I was watching it.
And I was just blown away as a little kid. It was amazing.
Wow, they can make movies like that?
So here's the story of the SS Poseidon and the Poseidon Adventure.
There's this cruise from New York to Athens over the holidays, and it's New Year's Eve.
The ship hits has a big tidal wave of some sort.
The wave came, hit the ship broadside, turned her upside down.
Locked up like a can of mixed nuts and assorted fruits, okay, and they find their way through the ship and find their way out.
You follow me, and don't look down.
Who will survive?
Hell upside down.
Hell in panties.
It's the greatest adventure you would ever have in your life.
Irwin Allen's production of The Poseidon Adventure, a Ronald Neame film.
I had a telephone call from the president of 20th Century Fox
saying, Ronnie, this film is going to make more money than all the other films that you've made put together. I said, don't be silly. He said, you wait and see.
This movie just goes on and on and on, and it's sort of like a parable. It's almost like a biblical story about people dying and conquering adversity and the light coming from within.
You really won't leave me.
I'm not going without you.
We had a wonderful director and a great cast. There's a young boy, a young girl, the hooker and the cop, and there's the preacher and the older couple and the young bachelor and a young woman, and it just all came together as a wonderful piece of work.
You stay here, you'll certainly die.
I like the rebel priest.
I told you I was going to get everybody out of here, and God damn it, I'm going to do it!
Irwin Allen made him use his hairdresser and tease his hair up into a nest, which swooped over and stood up funny when the wind blew. And because Gene Hackman does not like his hairdo, he does not accept Poseidon Adventure as a great film. You see, but I wish he would get over it, because we love him anyway, even though his hair was kind of funny.
There's something different up there than there is from down here.
She saved everybody. She got him through.
I held my breath 2 minutes and 47 seconds. Let me do this.
Gene Hackman had come to me and he'd said, look, I've been leading them. I should dive into the water, and she should dive in to save me.
Now I have a chance to do something I know how to do.
And Shelley said, the only reason I'm doing this film is because I dive into the water first. And she said, if I'm not going to have my favorite scene, then I'm walking off the picture. And she walked off. An hour later, she came back into the set and in her usual voice said, well, I'm here. Is everybody else ready?
What the hell does she think she's doing? Let her go. She knows what she's doing.
Jack Albertson. Now, he was a sweetheart. He would meet me at the coffee and plant a big wet kiss on me. And it just started my day beautifully.
He was also wonderful with Shelley, of course, because he kept her playing gin rummy all day long when she wasn't actually shooting, and that kept her quiet.
I'm going next. So if old fat ass gets stuck in there, I will be caught behind her.
Stella can actually recite the lines from the movie. Stella can quote it back, and not just her lines, but everybody else's. She honestly enjoys the film, she likes it, and she's pretty much a fan herself.
She was a goddess, elegant, and she cursed, and that made it so cool.
You son of a bitch, go help him!
Every time it was released on network TV, I was cut out of the picture because of all my lines. You couldn't say son of a bitch then. Later on, as the picture lives longer, my role gets bigger and my lines are in, so I like it more.
First you arrested me 6 times.
Well, I had to figure out some way to keep you off the streets until you'd marry me.
My favorite actor is in the movies Ernest Borgnine, because he's a detective lieutenant from the NYPD.
You heard the Reverend? He said get them through. Well, go ahead. Get us through.
I was somewhere once, and somebody said, is it true that you bore red buttons a legitimate love child? I said, what? And I said, absolutely not. He's a happily married man. He's been married for 40 years. And I said, obviously not. He said, are you sure?
Don't let go of me.
No, I won't.